King, and I am an account executive here at Boopsy. Today we're going to talk a bit about the mobile options out there for your library and some of the unique features you can get with a custom branded Boopsy Library mobile app. I'll walk you through the deployment process, show you a live demo of one of our mobile apps, and make sure to leave a few minutes for questions and answers. If you have any questions over the course of this presentation, please feel free to type them into the questions block, and I'll be sure to answer them as I go throughout the presentation. All right, it's a mobile world out there, and mobile technology is completely transforming the way we communicate and get information, but it is also changing our expectations for getting to that information. We expect access, instantaneously from anywhere and really at any time in an intuitive format. And we usually expect to get it for free. You can see from some of the numbers here on the screen how prevalent mobile use is across the population. It's common nowadays for children to own a phone by the time they're 13, and about 80% of young adults have smartphones. Also, 2/3 of those adults are sleeping with their cell phones next to their beds, and nearly all college students today are using mobile devices as well. And I personally have used my cell phone to give presentations, play music while I'm exercising, and even to make sure that I get up in the morning to come to work on time. And what apps are doing is providing access to information for users in a way that they've grown accustomed to. And we're seeing that the popularity of apps increase year over year. For example, in 2012, there was less than half as many apps downloaded as a year later in 2013. And I'm really excited to see what 2014 numbers are going to be. And this just illustrates the popularity of apps and that native apps are really here to stay. As apps continue to grow in popularity, so will the amount of time users spend using those apps. And I want you to think of it this way. Are you more inclined to type a website address into your mobile device's browser, such as www.facebook.com or even twitter.com, or are you simply tapping on an app that you've already loaded onto your device for that instant access? And apps really are the first choice for mobile users because they can provide such a rich user experience. Today's mobile app is designed specifically for a particular device platform, so it is able to incorporate all of those native features like the camera and the GPS, just to name a few. And we are seeing that users now spend nearly 90% of their time on mobile devices using the apps that they've downloaded. And this just reinforces the reality that users really prefer to open apps versus using their web browser. And let's just say that your library has a mobile responsive website, and that's a great component, and a lot of our current customers do as well. And it really helps them capture even more users. But really, are users spending most of their time using that mobile responsive site in their mobile device browser, or are they using the apps that they've already loaded onto their phone? So the question comes up, how is your library really reaching these mobile device users? So what does going mobile really mean? Well, to us here at Boopsy, this means self-directed library use, 24/7, 365, access to all of your library's great resources and services, and of course it's really going to help increase patron engagement and also increase your circulation. You're going to increase circulation because you're highlighting that patron-preferred content, such as those ebooks, those audiobooks, and other things of that nature. And it allows you to really serve a diverse community as well because, our apps do have a multilingual functionality that is available. Also, you really are providing your patrons with an access point that allows them access to information in a way that they have grown accustomed to. And it's a way that patrons expect access to information these days. And so I encourage you to ask yourself a question objectively here. And this goes for whether you have a responsive website or not. How are you reaching your patrons on their mobile devices? because we are seeing huge numbers of people not only using mobile devices, but spending lots of time on those devices, so you could be missing out on a large number of library users. And another thing here, you're going to see a better return on investment for all of your digital subscriptions. So again, you are spending quite a bit of money for these great resources like maybe Overdrive or One Click Digital, just to name a few. So how are you realizing return on investment, and how are you making these resources visible to your patrons? And a mobile app is a great way to highlight all of your library's great resources in a way that they are accustomed to. So you might be saying, that's all well and good, but what does this mean for your library? The Library Journal featured a report from a survey of over 2,000 library patrons, which showed that infrequent patrons account for more than half of all library patrons. And these infrequent users are bigger fans of ebooks than any other group of library patrons. And time and efficiency are key factors. So when you're looking at your total population served for your library, let's say you have X number of card holders, which probably could be a really good ratio in comparison to your total population served. But the question is, how many of those card holders are infrequent users, and what are your outreach programs like for reaching infrequent users? With a mobile app, your resources are as easy to access as a touch of a screen. So when you are talking about aggregating all of your resources into a single app environment, we are finding that 65% of library app usage is for non-catalog data and services. So what does that mean exactly? It's those things like ebooks and audiobooks, your third-party databases, book scans, your Ask a Librarian feature if you have it, definitely library events. Your patron can log in to their account and see if they have any fines or fees, or they can renew items or place new items and books on hold. So we are seeing that really users are not only excited about searching your catalog, but they're also excited about all of the services that you're able to offer to them. So you may be convinced at this point, saying, okay, Ray, I get it. Going mobile is definitely something we need, and I understand we need to be there to reach our patrons on the devices that they are using most often. But the question remains, why should we partner with Boopsy? Really, that is a valid question, and I think it comes down to the 4 Any's. Any phone, any tablet, any network, and I always love to add in there, anywhere. So when reaching patrons, no matter what type of device they are using, we're not leaving any of your patrons out. And that includes Apple devices, Android, Windows, just to specifically mention a few here. So regardless of which device they have, your patrons can simply select your app from their favorite app store and expect that app to be optimized for their particular device. And we do have a powerful search design for mobile. We have a proprietary search called Smart Prefix Search, which allows them to type in less to get to where they want to go. So for example, if you were searching for a book that contains Mark Twain, you would only need to type in the first 2 letters, M-A space T-W. And we are seeing more new users use our proprietary search because it's so easy over typing in the entire search string. They can just type in a few letters. They don't have to worry so much about spelling to get to the material that they're searching for. Plus, it's so much more than just catalog searching. You're also giving your patrons access to their preferred content like ebooks and audiobooks. It's an easy, fast, and affordable implementation, and of course, it helps promote library branding throughout the entire community. Our library apps are completely library branded, because we know that your patrons don't necessarily care that Boopsy is supporting your app, but what they do care about is your library and finding your library in their app store. Plus, our app allows you to retain relevance in this digital media world. So what you are acknowledging from your patrons is that this is a digital media world. We understand that you use your mobile devices more and more, and we actually have a solution for reaching you on your mobile devices and bringing our library's great resources to you. And again, I just want to mention that if you do have any questions, please feel free to type them into the box there, and I will answer them as I go throughout the course's presentation. And this is just a visual of all the different mobile devices out there that we currently support, ranging from Apple, Android, Windows, Amazon, really any device that your patron may be using, we have an app that will enable them access to your library. And here's just a little bit more about us here at Boopsy. We were founded in 2006 and are headquartered right here in Silicon Valley, so hello from California. We are the industry leader for providing mobile apps to libraries, serving over 4,000 library locations worldwide. One of the key differentiators that really distinguishes us as the industry leader is the type of relationships that we are forging with both content providers and publishers alike. So to name a few partners like Recorded Books or Overdrive, we are constantly making sure our system works well with theirs so we can provide your users with that rich experience that they deserve. Our platform, of course, does support multiple languages, and we are the mobile platform solution across multiple systems, which really just shows you how scalable our system is. We are the solution for individual libraries, various consortiums and co-ops, and even statewide systems alike. We are also the mobile app provider for conferences like CLA, PLA, OLA, just to name a few. So we are the trusted vendor for providing apps for those conferences as well. And this is really just another visual on how you can customize your library branded mobile app. Your mobile app can really be your virtual door, so you're definitely going to want to ensure that it reflects your brand and also showcases your unique resources. We build our library app to your requirements, right down to the color scheme, the branding graphics, the icon graphics, so you can promote your app and increase awareness of your brand. We also have a bottom navigation bar, which is a static bar, so no matter where you are in the app, the user can go home, go to their account, or even run a search directly from there against your catalog. And this just makes it easier for your patrons to navigate around your app, helps decrease abandonment of research or checkout, which really does have a direct impact on circulation, of course. And here we illustrate the differences between a native app, a responsive website, and a regular website through a mobile browser. The two on the left side are using a mobile browser solution, which requires them to open their web browser and then search to find your website. And on the left side, you can really see how hard it is to see the website, requiring the user to pinch and zoom in to try to figure out what they're going to select, which can really be frustrating for the user and causing them to think that maybe right now this just isn't worth my time. And another thing, and I suffer from this, which is fat fingering the wrong link, trying to select one thing and accidentally hitting another one. And I'm sure you've experienced it as well. And in the middle, we see a mobile responsive site, which is certainly a step in the right direction, but again, you see the information is not being presented in a way that is mobile device user friendly. It still requires a lot of searching around to find where they're trying to go, and there's not really clearly named channels either. Again, it is requiring them to also access it in their mobile device browser. And really, about 90% of mobile device users' time is spent in mobile apps, which is the far right solution. It has the channel names and is very easy to see where they need to go. They can see where their calendar of events are and where to go for different resources such as your catalog or ebooks and audiobooks, which is just a really easy environment for your patron to navigate. And what an app is going to do is increase patron engagement, which increases as users require less time to get where they want to go and find their preferred content. So fewer taps or the faster the search results are being displayed are two of the key factors that we do see in efficiency. So some of our key features include our catalog search, our library locator, of course the ILS integration, which is directly related to your catalog search, your calendar of events, so patrons are informed about your various activities, ask a librarian, of course all of your social media ranging from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, really whatever you have, you name it, we can go ahead and incorporate it within your app. And another awesome feature that we have is the book look, which allows users to scan the barcode of any book from anywhere in the world and check it against your library's holdings. Again, if your library has it, the user can place a hold on that book and they can pick it up, after work or at a time that's really convenient for them. And if your library doesn't have the book, we can include a button in there to request that your library add it to the location. It's a really cool feature. It's really great for collection development and resource allocation, and also a really interactive tool for your patrons. Again, access to ebooks through Overdrive. We have a fully embedded reader, and of course there's also book check and that multilingual support that I've mentioned before. And here's just a more comprehensive list of our partners. Some of them I've mentioned already. We also have Access 360, Credo Literati, EBSCO, Gale Cengage Learning, Mango Languages, Tutor.com, just to name a few. And a subscription service that we are offering that I wanted to mention is our digital comics and graphic novel subscription. We have a fully embedded reader in our app, and you can also list it on your website as you would for any other content that you are subscribing to. And your patrons can access titles from their PC, their tablet, or their smartphone. And also it has a fully integrated in-app reader for your library app and also on your website as well. I wanted to mention one more service that we offer here exclusively for our mobile apps. It's kind of like books as seen on TV. When a patron asks about a book, they say maybe on The Daily Show or Good Morning America, or maybe they heard about it on NPR on their drive into work. We integrate CoverCake directly with your ILS, so you can search a program to find the latest books mentioned and then search for those in your catalog. They'll also have the option to request a purchase. It's really just another great tool for engagement with your patrons. All right, so now we're going to get set up for the product demonstration. Again, go ahead and feel free to chat in any questions you may have at this point. I'd be happy to answer them as I pull up the demo. It's going to take just a second here for me to get it up. There we go. All right, great. And as you can see, I'm going to pull up the St. Louis County Library app. It's a really fun and exciting app. So here it is. And as you can see, I am using an Android phone right now. And I do want to mention that we do optimize our apps for all devices. So if I had an iPad mini or another Android tablet, you can expect the mobile app to be optimized for that as well. So the first one we're going to look at here is going to be the My Account feature. And you can check on any holds that you have or fees. And I don't have any credentials loaded in, but once the patron puts them in, it's going to be remembered, and they're not going to have to constantly type it in every time they pull it up to check on their account, unlike a responsive website or a regular website. And now we're going to search the catalog here. And again, it's going to be using the smart prefix. We're going to search for a book by Mark Twain, just as the banner kind of suggested there. All right, and as you can see, just by typing in those 4 letters, it's already pulled up all of the results for Mark Twain. And a patron can easily just scan through here, find one that appeals to them, and select it. So I'm going to select The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn here, and you can see it pops up the information. And another great thing that it does is it gives them the options of where to pick it up. So if it's not available at their local branch, maybe at the headquarters, which you can see is not due to be returned, until the 2nd of February, they can look at the other branches and see where it's available. And if there's one that's located relatively close, they could drive over, or they could request it to be transferred through their library loan service. All right, so we're going to go back to the home screen here. And we're going to go into the Download eMedia channel. And this is where they have their Overdrive integration. And you can see that they have it separated out in ebooks and audiobooks. So we're just going to select ebooks just for demonstration purposes here. And you can see it pops up all the different ebooks that they have available. And of course they can search it to find the one that they are specifically looking for. And then, so what they'll do here is they would go ahead, they click on a book, and they would be able to begin reading it almost instantaneously. Again, it would be within your library app, so it just switches them over, they start reading, and it saves their place. So some other ones that they have here, you'll see that they've also got Hoopla, Tumble Books, Zinio, just a lot of great databases that they have access to and set up for their patrons. So now we're going to demo our Book Look feature, and it's going to activate the camera's phone. And let me get the barcode here. There we go. So it picked it up, and it's going to run a search against the database to see if they carry that particular title in stock. And the book that I am searching for is Unseen. There it is, by Karen Slaughter. And you see that it came up. It's showing that there are 3 matches that are available. And all the patron would need to do is to select one of these, and they could have it transferred over to their local one. This one right here in particular is available on Overdrive. So again, the patron would be able to access it using the Overdrive feature. It also gives them a lot of the other information that could be pertinent to them for whatever reason that they deem necessary. We're going to go back to the home screen here, and we're going to also look at the Ask a Librarian feature. This is really neat. It's got their phone number, their email, and they also have text set up. If your library has a chat function, we can also integrate it into here as well. And all the patron needs to do is actually just hit that button, just like it says there, the instructions, click to dial. And as long as they're on a mobile device, they're going to be able to call the library directly. And using an email, it's going to auto-populate the email address into an email that's going to pop up, and they'll be able to email the library and ask whatever question that they may have. Another thing I want to showcase here is going to be the events and classes. And as you can see here, they're using Advanced, which is a really nice calendar system, and they have it separated out by categories. So they have the events that are happening today, and then there is audience. So it's going to pop out, adults, children, and it just keeps it geared towards the specific one. We're just going to look at today's events. And here you can see all the different things that are going on. It's really easy for patrons to scan through, search, find a time that's going to accommodate their time schedule, and then attend one of these events. Another great feature that is available is the location and hours. So it's got a bunch of different branches in here, and as you can see, I'm located quite a distance away from any of these branches. But that's going to also show up for the patron, so they'll be able to see which one is nearest to them at their location. So maybe the one that's closest to their home isn't the one that's closest to where they work. And they'll be able to know that, and they'll be able to say, oh, I'm going to go to this branch instead of the branch that's closest to me. And then we're going to look at the social media portion of it, so they can connect with SLCL on Facebook, Twitter, Flickr, Tumblr, anything that you have, we can integrate it into the social media portion here, and it'll be just a simple one touch away for patrons to access and engage and interact with your library, and also other patrons who share similar interests in the library as well. So that ends the demo portion. I do see that I have a question here, so I'm gonna flip this back over to the slides, and then I'm going to pull up that question in just a moment here. So there's a question here that says, how would someone who is not familiar with our library come across our app? That's a great question. So there's a couple of different scenarios that could be driving this. So a patron could stumble across your library's app by just doing a search in the store for libraries, maybe in any particular state, and hopefully it would come up in those search results and they'll see it, and that would drive them to want to know more about this library, and then they could interact with you through the app as well. They can download it. You can see all of those features were available, were accessible without using any credentials. So a patron would be able to give the library a call after downloading and ask a question such as, how do I become a member of your library? And then you'll be able to get them in, get them set up with a card, and then they can start enjoying all of your great resources. So that's just one way. Another way is they could go to the Boopsy for Libraries website, and they'd be able to see it on there. That's a little less likely. So really it would be if they were searching the App Store just for a library, and then they would come across you there. I hope that answers your question. And thank you for asking it. That was a great question. All right. Okay, so here's just another example of one of our apps. It's very colorful, it's bright, and it's a fun app design. And I just wanted to give you another example of how customizable our apps are. They really are completely library branded and are a direct reflection of your library. So I invite you, take a test drive and really explore the different possibilities that are out there for your library. I recommend exploring some of those different options available on your mobile device of choice, and you can do that by going to Boopsy.com and searching for the closest library. Definitely download that library mobile app onto your mobile device. Download it on a couple of different ones so you can really see how it looks. Pull it on your smartphone, and then if you have a tablet at home or maybe they're in the library like many of them do now, pull it up on there as well. And definitely download it so you get a really good feel for the rich user experience. We also have a lot of blogs on our website, and I'm more than happy to link up some more demos that may be of particular interest to your library itself. And so you might be wondering also, what is the deployment and setup process like? So typically we can develop your app in an average of 6 weeks. It could be faster. It could take longer depending on the number of revisions. And once you finalize the contract, we'll schedule a welcome call with you to discuss the onboarding process. We'll go through a few rounds of revisions to definitely make sure that the app is exactly how you want it to look. It really is a minimal burden on your staff, and really no burden on your IT staff at all. And it requires no hosting or maintenance. We are providing complete wraparound tech support in addition to providing customer training webinars and also marketing materials to really get your app off the ground. And here's just an example of the marketing materials we provide to really help increase usage and downloads of your library app. To track usage, we offer Boopsy Analytics, so you can log in, you can check the downloads, how many unique users, checkouts, and run reports to share with your staff. You can adjust the timeline so it can pull in just the last month, maybe the last quarter, or the entire year if you're doing a year-end roll-up. And so, thank you very much today for joining me. I invite you to mobilize your library, and you can certainly start the process by reaching out to me. Again, my name is Ray. I am an account executive here at Boopsy. You can contact us at sales@boopsy.com, and my personal email is ray, which is R-A-Y, @boopsy.com. And I'll also provide you with my number. It is 760-554-8270, and that is my cell phone, so you'll be able to reach me no matter where I am at any time. And you can also find me on Twitter at RayKing_live. And I do see that we have another question here, and this one is asking about pricing. Yeah, that's a great question. I would love to actually set up a phone call with you just to learn a little bit more about your library in specific so that I can get you the best pricing option that is available. We do have a couple of great offers going on right now. So definitely, after this presentation, I encourage you, send me an email. Again, you can reach it at sales@boopsy.com or ray@boopsy.com. Great question. Thank you. Please follow up with me after the demo. Okay. All right. So I got your contact information right here. So I will definitely give you a call here today, and we'll discuss your library, Boopsy, how we can support you, and see about getting you a proposal. Thank you very much for providing that. All right. Are there any other questions that are out there? All right, great. You can visit Boopsy.com anytime to view a recording of this webinar and find more information about our library mobile apps. It's been my pleasure answering your questions and presenting Boopsy to you. I look forward to working with each of you in the future and getting your library mobile. I hope all of you have a great day, and I look forward to hearing back from you.